The quiet things that matter. My name is Grace. I'm 27 years old and I live in a small town nestled in the mountains. My husband's name is Ethan. He's 31, and we've been married for 3 years. Ethan isn't like most men. He's quiet, steady, and calm. He doesn't speak much, but when he does, his words are thoughtful, his voice soft, and his hands gentle. He always helps me carry the groceries. He opens doors for me. He makes me tea when I'm cold. Ethan works as a mechanic. He spends his days fixing cars and trucks, and he always smells like oil and metal when he comes home. His hands are rough and strong, marked with small scars and smudges of grease. He works from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening. Every night he comes home with tired eyes, but when he sees me, he always smiles. We live in a small wooden house with 2 bedrooms and a tiny kitchen. The walls are thin, and in winter the wind whistles through the windows. We have an old heater that groans and clatters, but it keeps us warm enough. I work at the town library. It's quiet, and I like that. I love the smell of old pages, the soft hum of reading. I don't make much, around $3,000 a month. Ethan earns about $2,000. Together we manage. I like this. It's not much, but we get by. Still, sometimes I want more. I see other women in town with new clothes, the latest phones, shiny cars. Their husbands take them on trips. I see their smiling faces in photos by the sea, holding drinks in sunlit cafes. I look at Ethan, his worn shoes, his cracked phone screen. He doesn't care about money or appearances. He doesn't even have social media. "Why would I need it?" he once said. "I already have everything I want." But do I? One evening, we sat across from each other at the dinner table. I had made soup and fresh bread. We ate in silence, and then I asked, "Ethan, do you ever wish for more?" He looked up slowly. "More?" "Money, a better house, a different life." He was quiet for a long time before saying, "I wish I could give you more." His answer broke my heart. "I don't want to hurt you," I said. "I just want you to try harder. You're smart. Maybe you could start your own garage. Be your own boss." He smiled, sadly. "I don't know how to run a business." "Then learn," I said. "You can't stay in the same place forever." He looked down at his bowl and said nothing. His silence made me angry. I started comparing him to others. I said things I shouldn't have. Thomas just bought a new truck. Sarah's husband is opening a shop in the city. Everyone's moving forward. Why not you? He looked at me then, and the pain in his eyes made me want to take back every word. But he didn't argue. He only said, "I'll try." That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the future. We wanted children someday, but how could we afford? He started coming home later than usual. His eyes looked more tired. When I asked where he'd been, he said, "I'm looking for something extra, maybe another job." A week later, he came home with a folded paper in his hand. It was a part-time night shift at a warehouse. He'd make an extra $1,200 a month. I hugged him tight. "Thank you, Ethan. This will help." He kissed the top of my head and said, "I hope so." At first, things improved. We paid some bills. I bought a warm, new coat. We even went out to dinner, something we hadn't done in months. But then I noticed the change. Ethan stopped laughing. He stopped humming in the shower. He stopped asking how my day had been. His hands began to shake when he poured coffee. He fell asleep on the couch before dinner. One night, I woke up and found him sitting on the edge of the bed holding his chest. "Ethan?" I rushed to him. "Are you okay?" He nodded slowly. "Just tired." "You're working too much," I whispered. "We need the money," he said. "I want to give you more." Tears filled my eyes. I felt like I had pushed him to this edge. "You are enough, Ethan," I said. "I don't want you to break yourself for me. I just want you to be proud of me." "I am," I whispered, "but I don't want to lose you." 2 weeks later, it happened. He came home late, dropped his bag, tried to speak, and collapsed. His body trembled, his skin was cold, my hands were shaking as I dialed for an ambulance. At the hospital, the doctor said, "He's severely exhausted. His body is shutting down. He needs rest. No work, no stress." I sat by his bed watching him sleep, his face pale and still. I held his hand and whispered, "I'm sorry, I forgot what really matters." His eyes fluttered open. "You didn't forget," he said. "You just got lost for a little while." I nodded, crying. "I don't need a big house. I just need you." He squeezed my hand. "I'm not going anywhere." He stayed in the hospital for 3 days. I never left his side. I read to him from the books I brought from the library. I ran my fingers through his hair. We spoke little, but our words were soft, careful, as though we were learning each other again. When he was released, the nurse warned me, "No stress. He needs rest. He's not a machine." Back home, nothing looked different, but everything felt different. I made soup. We ate on the couch. Ethan rested his head on my shoulder, and we watched the snow fall through the window. "I missed this," I said. "What?" he asked. "Us, just being safe, just being close." He smiled. "I missed it too." That night in bed, I asked, "What if we stop chasing everything? What if we slow down?" He didn't answer right away. "What about the future?" "We'll still have a future," I said, "but let's build it without breaking ourselves." We stopped looking at what we lacked and started seeing what we had. Money was still tight. The hospital bills piled up, the heater still rattled, my coat grew old again. But we had peace. One evening I watched Ethan fixing the sink, grease on his cheek, and I had an idea. The next day I stayed late at the library and researched free online courses, small business ideas. I made a plan. That evening I handed Ethan a folder. "What if we start something together?" He opened it. Inside were plans for a mobile car repair service. "You know cars," I said. "I know books and scheduling. We don't need a shop, just tools and time." He looked at me, really looked, and smiled. "Let's try." In the weeks that followed, we slowly built Ethan's Fix-It van. I made flyers, he talked to his boss, and cut back his hours. Soon, word spread. People said he was honest, kind, careful. Reviews trickled in, work came steadily. One day, as we sat by the lake, Ethan said, "Grace, do you remember the night I collapsed?" I nodded. "I thought I failed you." "You didn't," I said. "I just didn't see that I was already safe." He handed me a folded paper. It read, "Even if I have nothing, I still have you, and that is everything." Tears filled my eyes. That night, I wrote my own. "I thought love had to be shiny, but real love is quiet. Real love is you." We kept those notes in a little box beside the bed. Then one morning, something changed. I felt different, quiet, still. I went to the clinic and took a test. When I got home, Ethan was under a car in the driveway. "Ethan," I called, "can you come out for a minute?" He rolled out, sweaty and tired. "What's up?" I handed him the paper. He read it, once, twice. We're going to be parents." "Yes." His hands shook again, but this time it wasn't from exhaustion. He pulled me close. "We're going to be okay." And in that moment, I knew we would be, because real love isn't perfect. It's steady, it's quiet, it's the kind that holds you when you fall and says, "Let's try again." It may not be the life I dreamed of, but it's better, because it's ours.